We had I think discussed question number 2, and we have to write down the answer for this. So let's just begin by writing. Maybe some of you have already written, I guess. So once again, going over the question. So you are given that there is a circle and two equal chords intersect within the circle. So I have chord AB and CD. I have written in the given part that chord AB is equal to chord CD, and AB and CD intersect at.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You have to prove that the segments of the corresponding segments of the two chords are equal. That means the parts of the chords respectively will be equal. The smaller portions of the two chords will be equal to each other, and the large portions of the two chords will be equal to each other. And to do so, we have constructed perpendiculars from the center to both the chords, and these perpendiculars will bisect the chord. So I'm just going to write down what we discussed yesterday. I hope you remember we have to use the congruence of these triangles, OEM and OEN, and with the help of the congruence, we obtained EM equals to EN, and then we can work with the equality of the chords. Let's just write down, there are a few things going on simultaneously rather, and you have to keep in mind how to work with them. So first of all, in triangle OEM and triangle OEN, let's prove the congruence. I've got angle OME equals to ONE.
Each 90
Each
degrees.
is 90 degrees. OE is common. This is the hypotenuse for both the triangles. And then OM will be equal to ON. These are the perpendiculars for from the center to each chord. Since the chords are equal, these perpendiculars will be equal. And the result that we're using here is theorem 10.6. If you remember, equal chords are equidistant from the center. So with the help of the congruence of these two triangles, I have EM equals to EN. And if you remember, these are actually parts of the two chords for which we want to prove the result as mentioned here. So with the help of these two parts of the chords, we will be like trying to prove that the smaller parts of the two chords are equal and the larger parts are equal. Now I'm going back to the equality of the two chords. Since the two chords are equal and I have perpendiculars from the center, those perpendiculars will be bisecting the chords. So I'm going to conclude that the halves will also be equal. I hope you've written this. Anyone who's writing, let me know. From given or to prove, like I'll be just moving a little from here. So the two halves of AB will be equal to two halves of CD. And why do I have halves? Because I have perpendiculars from the center. These perpendiculars from the center will bisect the chords. I'm going to make pairs from here. I've got four values which are equal to each other. I'm going to write them in pairs. The paths which contain the point of intersection A, M, and C, N, and the paths which do not contain the point of intersection. You can go back and refer to the figure to make sure that you're writing down the values in this way. The first pair contains the point of intersection. If you look at your figure, A, M, and C, N contain point of intersection E, whereas MB and ND do not contain the point of intersection. Now, I'm taking this as second and third. The paths which contain the point of intersection, from that value, I'm going to subtract equation number 1. So 2 minus 1 and 3 plus 1. This is just a way you can remember. Otherwise, if you just understand what I'm doing here, that's also fine. So AM minus EM equals to CN minus EN. This will give you AE equals to CE. And adding equation number 3 with equation number 1, I have MB plus EM equals to ND plus EN. This will give you BE equals to DE. Let me know once you have written, then we'll take up the next topic.
Ma'am, can you show from starting?
I think, yeah, you can zoom in and see. I think you'll be able to see the whole question.
Ma'am, done.
So first question for which you have to find the length of the common chord. Let's see if we can do. Let me know if you people have your geometry boxes with you. Do you have compass and ruler?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So question number 1 here, let's just see what we have. You have to draw 2 circles. One is having radius 5 centimeters and the other one's having radius 3 centimeters. Along with this, you are given that the distance between the centers is 4 centimeter. So we shall be starting from here. First of all, start with the line segment, 4 centimeters in length, and the end points of that line segment will act as the centers for the two circles. So do it with me side by side. A line segment of length 4 centimeters. And the endpoints will act as the centers for the two circles. This is 4 centimeters. And then you want to draw two circles, one with center A and the other one with center as B. For the first circle, we will be taking the radius as 5 centimeters, and for the second circle, we will be taking the radius as 3 centimeters. So this is a very simple thing. I guess you all can do it on your own. I'll be doing it right here. A is my center, the radius should be 5. So open your compass 5 centimeters in radius and draw a circle. And then with point B as center, radius 3 centimeters, draw another circle. And you will be able to see 2 points of intersection for the circles. Name those points as P and Q. The points of intersection that you can see. If you want, you can show the radius for the two circles separately. This is 3 centimeters, and for the larger circle, the radius is 5 centimeters. Although it's not required. Now, if you observe, these points P and Q are actually lying on the circumference of each of these circles. अगर हम smaller circle को ignore कर दें, points P and Q lie on the circumference of the larger circle, and if we ignore the larger circle, points P and Q lie on the circumference of the smaller circle. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. If you draw a line segment now, if you draw a line segment joining points P and Q, that line segment will act as a chord for the larger circle as well as for the smaller circle. Will that be correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? That chord is actually the common chord, and we want to find out what will be the length of that chord. So with the help of your ruler, just draw a line segment joining points P and Q. You can either measure its length with the help of the ruler, or you can just observe PQ actually is the diameter of the smaller circle.
It will be 6 centimeter.
Yes, it will be 6 centimeters. So it is the diameter of circle with center as B and radius 3 centimeters. So this will be equal to 6 centimeters. This is also done with the help of Pythagoras theorem, but that proof becomes quite complicated. So we are not going with that. We are just simply doing this with the help of a rough, like a proper construction, I would say. This is to scale, proper measurements ke saath humne kiya hai. So this is the easiest way to do this question, given that there are two circles. The distance between their centers is given along with the radii. So you can find out that the chord actually becomes the common chord becomes the diameter of the smaller circle. Smaller circle का radius आपको पता है तो आप diameter की length find कर सकते हो. That's double the radius. So the length of the common chord will be 6 centimeters. That's all. That will be all. And this completes your exercise 10.4. I hope you've done this. Anyone who is still doing or completing this question? All right, let's go to the next topic that we have. This is something I discussed with you earlier as well, angles subtended by a chord at the center or at a point in a circle. And I mentioned that जब भी हम बात करेंगे angles subtended by a chord, we will be talking about either the angle is subtended at the center or the angle is subtended at the circumference. So the point we are taking as the vertex will either be the center of the circle या फिर वो point कहाँ पे होगा, circumference पे होगा. Now they are just extending that concept to an arc of the circle. I hope you're aware what an arc is. Arc is a part of the circumference. Circumference पे अगर आप 2 points mark करते हो, बाउंड्री का जो हिस्सा उन 2 पॉइंट्स के बीच में आएगा उसको हम आर्क बोलते हैं. As in this figure over here, if you see, there are 4 points on the circumference. So if you take the portion of the boundary between any 2 points out of these 4, in 4 points में से आप कोई भी 2 points लेके, in between those 2 points, whatever the boundary portion lies will be the arc. So either you could say arc AB or AC or AD. Any 2 points on the boundary. Portion आपको circumference का लेना होता है. Please keep that in mind. There is one result here. They are showing if 2 chords of a circle are equal, then their corresponding arcs are congruent. Congruent means the arcs will be equal in size. Now the conclusion that they have here has been drawn from the fact that the length of the chord and the length of an arc both are dependent on the angle they subtend at the center. Let us say O is the center for this circle, and we have to, just a minute. So if we want to find out what is the length of the chord or what is the length of an arc, we are looking at the angle they subtend at the center. So अगर मुझे find out करना है what is the length of chord AB, what I'll do is I'll find out what is the angle subtended by this chord at the center. कि ये वाली chord center पे कितना angle बना रही है. वो find out करने के लिए हम chord के end points को center से join कर देंगे. That means I want to know what angle AOB is. और अगर इसी फिगर में मुझे फाइंड आउट करना हो कि ए बी की लेंथ क्या है, ए बी की लेंथ भी जो आर्क ए बी है उसकी लेंथ भी इसी पे डिपेंड करेगी. द सेंट्रल एंगल सबटेंडेड एट द सेंटर और द एंगल सबटेंडेड एट द सेंटर सिंपली बाय द कॉर्ड. और कॉर्ड सेंटर पे कौन सा एंगल बना रही है, सेम थिंग. कॉर्ड आर्क सेंटर पे कौन सा एंगल बना रही है. टू फाइंड दैट आउट वी विल डू द सेम थिंग. जो आपकी आर्क के एंड पॉइंट्स है उनको आप सेंटर से कनेक्ट करोगे, इग्नोरिंग द कॉर्ड फ्रॉम हियर. तो आपकी जो आर्क है ए बी, सेम एंड पॉइंट्स एज द कॉर्ड विल बी कनेक्टेड टू द सेंटर. उस केस में भी आपको कौन सा एंगल देखना है, एंगल ए ओ बी. So both are dependent on the central angle AOB, चाहे आप arc देख रहे हो या आप chord देख रहे हो. So what we can say is that if 2 chords are equal, their central angles will be equal and their corresponding arcs will also be equal. Equal in the sense they will be congruent, identical. And अगर arcs congruent है तो अगर हम उनकी corresponding chords draw करते हैं, and chords draw करने का मतलब जो आपकी arc के end points हैं, draw a line segment joining those end points, you will obtain a chord of the circle. तो वो chords भी equal होंगी. I hope this result is clear. अगर हम इस result को theorem 10.1 के साथ combine करें, आपके पास क्या result बनेगा? Theorem 10.1 stated that if 2 chords are equal, the angle subtended by those chords at the center will be equal. Now, if two chords are equal, their corresponding arcs are equal. Combining it with theorem 10.1, if we have two congruent arcs, their respective chords will be equal, and hence the angles subtended by those arcs at the center will also be equal. So I'll just write it in a very short way. If we have congruent arcs, it implies corresponding chords are equal, and this implies and this goes vice versa. जो ये पहले वाले दो रिजल्ट्स हैं, ये इस यहाँ से आए हैं, और ये जो कंक्लूजन है ये आपका थ्योरम 10.1 से आया है. एंड यू कैन गो बोथ वेज. आर्क्स कॉन्ग्रुएंट हैं तो कॉर्ड्स इक्वल होंगी, central angles equal honge, and you can go the other way around. If the angles subtended at the center are equal, then the corresponding chords are equal, which will imply that the corresponding arcs will be congruent. I hope I'm making sense. Any questions here? Because the next theorem is based on the same concept, the angle subtended by a chord at the center. We are not talking about congruent arcs. We are simply talking about one arc of a circle. And that theorem is actually very important. It's also called as degree measure theorem, theorem 10.8. So the theorem states that angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the remaining part of the circle. On the remaining part of the circle will be the rest of the circumference, because arc is actually part of the circumference. तो जो circumference का हिस्सा आप ले रहे हो, आपको point जो mark करना है वो उस तरफ नहीं mark करना, आपको दूसरी तरफ mark करना है. Let me just draw a circle here. Let us say we have a circle with center O and we have 2 points on the circumference. Points A and B, and I am talking about now this arc. हम इस arc की बात कर रहे हैं, AB की. I want to find out two angles. दो angles की बात कर रहे हैं हम इस theorem में, one at the center and one at the remaining part of the circumference. To find out what's the angle subtended at the center by this arc, I would like to join the endpoints of this arc with the center. So I'm going to join A to the center and B to the center. So angle AOB is the angle subtended by arc AB at the center, and I want to take a point on the remaining part of the circle. Remaining part of the circle means इस तरफ नहीं लेना आपको जहां पे आपकी arc है. You have to take a point on the remaining boundary. So you can take a point anywhere on the remaining boundary. So let's just mark a point here. Let's name this as P, or rather let me just draw it somewhere where it will be a little easier. Okay, let's mark it here. It can be taken anywhere on the remaining part. इस तरफ नहीं लेना, बस ये ध्यान रखना. Now I want to find out what is the angle subtended by the same arc, इस arc, the same arc AB. What is the angle subtended at the circumference? So I'm going to join points A and B with point P. So this is the angle subtended at the boundary or the circumference. तो यहाँ पे हम जो बोल रहे हैं, what is the angle subtended at remaining part of the circle? This means the angle subtended at the circumference. And the relation that you have is angle at the center is double the angle at the circumference. So angle AOB is equal to angle APB multiplied by 2. This is what we want to prove in this theorem. And if you will see the proof given in your textbook, they have discussed this theorem with respect to 3 separate cases. The proof, although is same, exactly the same. The first figure shows PQ as a minor arc. If you observe, this is the minor arc. In the second figure, the line segment joining points P and Q actually passes through the center. PQ is the diameter in this case. So when the endpoints of an arc becomes the endpoints of a diameter, the arc becomes a semicircle. This is again from 10.1, if you remember, exercise 10.1, we have done this. The endpoints of the arc are the endpoints of the diameter. So your arc will now be a semicircle. The central angle, as you can see, is 180 degrees. Here, the central angle is less than 180 degrees. And the third case discusses where your arc PQ is a major arc. The central angle is now a reflex angle, means it's more than 180 degrees. Arc PQ is a major arc. द प्रूफ इज सेम, सिर्फ इतना सा डिफरेंस होगा कि जो आपके पास थर्ड केस है उसमें जो सेंट्रल एंगल बनता है वो रिफ्लेक्स एंगल बनता है. तो उन्होंने लास्ट में प्रूफ पे पर्टिकुलरली मेंशन किया हुआ है फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर part, third one, you have a reflex angle POQ equals to twice angle PAQ. This is the angle at the center equals to twice the angle at the circumference. Yes, that's correct. Yes, remaining part of the circle means excluding the minor arc. I hope the result is clear. Let's write down the proof for the same. So you have to draw 3 circles separately. You have to discuss all 3 cases with the help of the figures. So I think it will be better if I use the same names as given in the book. You have arc PQ in the 3 circles. And you can just write down. And the reason why we are writing down that there are 3 cases or 3 possibilities simply means that it does not matter what type of arc is PQ, the result still stands true. So you can just write down. Let me know if you've written till here. I would like to discuss the proof before we write this down.
Please
Anyone?
wait.
Okay.
Then ma'am, you can proceed.
Now let's just go over what we're going to do in order to prove the result. I will write this down further. Like we will be writing down the proof afterwards. Let's just discuss. What I'm going to do is I'm going to construct a line or a line segment. Rather, it will be a ray joining the point on the circumference to the center and extend it a little. So I would like to just draw a line. So we have a line or a ray from point A passing through the center, and I've just extended it a little. Let's name this as B as it's in the book. So I have ray AB, which joins point A and O. And what it does is it divides the central angle and the angle at the circumference into two parts, as you can see. जो सेंट्रल एंगल था POQ, उसके आपको दो पार्ट्स नजर आ रहे होंगे, वन ऑन द लेफ्ट ऑफ AB एंड वन ऑन द राइट ऑफ AB. सिमिलरली ये जो एंगल यहाँ पे बन रहा था A पॉइंट पे, उसके भी दो हिस्से हो गए. आई एम गोइंग टू वर्क विद द टू ट्राइंगल्स दैट आई कैन सी राइट हियर, ट्राइंगल AOP एंड ट्राइंगल AOQ. I'll just erase the circle from here and maybe you can see. So I think now you can see I've got two triangles here. Since O is the center, points A, P, and Q lie on the circumference. OA is the radius of the circle, OP is also radius of the circle, and OQ is also radius of the circle. Is that correct? No, it's not the diameter, because you could draw the diameter. You could draw the diameter means you could just leave that point right at the circumference. मैंने इसको रे की फॉर्म में ड्रॉ कर दिया, मैंने इसको एक्सटेंड कर दिया है. अगर आप सिर्फ बाउंड्री तक ड्रॉ करते तो डायमीटर बन जाता. The purpose is I just needed a line segment joining the point on the circumference to the central point. सिर्फ ये करना था मुझे. I could have extended it further. Like जरूरी नहीं है कि आप boundary तक रखो. आप like you can draw it smaller than the diameter. You can draw it larger than the diameter. You can draw it equal to the diameter. If I just go back, let's see if I can. You could simply draw this much, I think. अगर आप इसको extend कर दोगे till the boundary, it will become the diameter. If you just keep it till here, it's completely fine. I just wanted to join the point on the circumference to the center point. सिर्फ ये purpose है, whether or not it is the diameter, यहाँ पे उससे कोई concern नहीं है हमें. बन जाए तो भी ठीक है, नहीं बनेगा तो भी ठीक है. So as for now, as you can see, I've got two triangles on either side of this line segment. I have triangle AOP and triangle AOQ. The purpose is to find out the measure for these angles. If I can somehow find out what will be the measure of these angles, then I can work out a relationship between the two in order to conclude what I want. So let's just see if you can observe. I'll just erase this side. and focus on one part. Looking at this triangle AOP, the first thing I observe is since points A and P are on the boundary, OA is the radius of the circle and OP is also the radius of the circle. This makes my triangle isosceles. मेरा triangle जो यहाँ पे बन रहा है वो isosceles triangle बन रहा है. In isosceles triangle, the angles opposite to equal sides are also equal. That would make angle over here, this angle will be equal to this one. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
just going to just number this.